Hello, viewers. I'm Vibhuti Jha. This is Sanatan World. Welcome to the show. And just before I start, I want to request you to please like, subscribe, and support our channel any which way you can. And by subscribing, sharing, and liking, you can help me big time grow. You are familiar with me because I have done many shows on Jaipur Dialogue for many years. I run also concurrently Jaipur Dialogue USA, which is running separately, but I wanted to do this on Sanatan philosophy that, in my opinion, has the future of becoming the new mantra for the whole world. And that I'm saying primarily because the Sanatan Dharma's biggest ally is technology and science. Because the more science and technology advances, the more knowledge spreads, the fear of darkness and ignorance evaporates. It goes. We'll talk about that more. But today I wanted to talk to you a phenomenon which has attracted very bizarre interest. Cockroach has suddenly become the global conversation for everybody. Like the Cockroach Janta Party, you may have heard that based on Chief Justice of India talking about an employment scenario, told somebody that don't behave like a cockroach, became a Cockroach Janta Party. Very interestingly enough, these kind of fads or these kind of things develop these days very quickly because of social media and the technology that happens. Suddenly, it was a global story, at least for Indians, diaspora abroad and Indians in India, that Cockroach Janta Party, launched by a man who has been alleged to have, living in America and run away from Pune in India, where he was charged for many criminal, violations. The promoters of these were all overseas, in Germany, in the UK, and in United States. And suddenly, Janta Party became. My mind was thinking that how suddenly some phenomenon gathers momentum, like the Black Lives Matter in America, like the Antifa, supposed to be anti-fascist, became Antifa. They were more fascist than fascists themselves, right? And they were saying they were fighting fascists. These are kind of a movements that suddenly take to the streets. Now, here is a very important element to this. Apart from the fact that these were promoted by people of very suspect intent, it gathered momentum because it was called Aam Aadmi Party Kejriwal's 2.0 version. Remember, Kejriwal is a very ambitious man. In a very interesting turn of events, Kejriwal, who is the master instigator and master agitator in the world I have known across, he suddenly had the chief ministership of Delhi in his pocket. When he got saddled with power, then you can't be agitator or instigator. You had responsibility. The responsibility he executed so well. You know about his scandals, the toddy scandal, the alcohol scandal, the Sheesh Mahal scandal, the whole thing you have known around. So Aam Aadmi Party has been thrown out of Delhi, is struggling in Punjab, and this man is a clear agent of some change, some elements overseas who want to monitor, control, and manage India from overseas. A compliant, weak leadership to be installed. And I had said this before that in 2020, I had said that the woke army, the caravan of woke army, will move from United States to India in cahoots with whoever wants to destabilize Modi and Hindus in India to do whatever it takes. My phrase was in 2020, this, whatever it takes, and it remains so, including violence and street wars. That's what you are seeing. The people who promoted Indie Association, if I may say so, alliance or whatever, were meant to remove Modi through electoral democratic process. That alliance failed 2014, 2019, and 2024. 2024 was a lucky win for Prime Minister Modi, which is what we call in the Hindu Dharma. Maybe he had God's Varad Hast on him, that whatever happens, he won. I as a sportsman, I have always said people were projecting 400 seats and everything else, whatever. I said a win is a win, whether you win by one wicket, one run, or one innings, or one goal, or six goals, or 12 goals. A win is a win. You prevented your opponent from holding the trophy. And that's what happened. I'm glad about that. Mr. Modi won. So the overseas manipulators and managers of the alliances were unhappy. Now they are resorting to the street battle. The cockroach was a germination of that kind. But my question is, these people, two of a Brahmin, a Vaishya, and an OBC have created this alliance of called Cockroach Janta Party. I wonder how many Hindus, self-respecting or self-respecting Atma Samman and Atma Vishwas ke saath will become a cockroach. That's my question too. I'm asking this question to anyone and everyone. Hate India as much as you want. Hate Hinduism as much as you want. But by becoming a cockroach, are you enhancing your image? Can you imagine people voting for a cockroach Janta Party? Well, Aam Aadmi had Jhadu as their symbol. They got swept. The question here is very important, that this is plan to remove Modi by street violence. Remember one thing, Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina was toppled because she refused America a base in St. Martin Island or wherever it was, right? That's what the storyline is. We know that in Bangladesh, significant CIA assets were operating. Some died in a mysterious circumstances, and they threw away Sheikh Hasina government, brought in a caretaker Nobel Peace Prize winner, and then the rest is history. The Bangladeshis' hate for Hindus and India is legendary. Is legendary. I mean, those people are, as my friend says, 98% of the Indian subcontinent Muslims were former Hindus, right? So the question is, the hate in them is so bad against India that they are threatening India with attack, not knowing that ungrateful people of Bangladesh, that it was India that allowed you to become a country, that India's intervention permitted you to become a country. Until then, all that the Pakistanis were doing was treating you as a third or the fourth class citizens of Pakistan, East Pakistan, and raping your women to produce another generation of Punjabi Muslims in your country. Think about that, you Bangladeshis who hate Hindus of India. So the question here is, that happened in Bangladesh. You had Pakistan, where a very popular cricketer called Imran Khan, whom everybody knows, just because he tried to be independent, he was mercilessly captured, accused, put behind bars, and he's sitting there for God knows how many years with failing health and reportedly eyesight gone, lost significant amount of weight, family visits curtailed. That's what the deep state or the manipulators of the Indian subcontinent are doing. They wanted Modi gone too, because if Modi goes, because he is standing firm in his position, in his disposition, in his international ranking, he is loved all over the world. Every country in the world recognizes him with a civilian honor, which is so rare in these times. So the question here is, where did this cockroach party come about? The entire conflagration of so many people joining it. You must have seen those news items where people from Pakistan and many other countries became suddenly part of the Cockroach Janta Party. Think from that perspective. So I'm asking every Hindu in India and overseas, are you a cockroach? Do you have ambitions, desire to become a part of a Cockroach Janta Party? No, let this be there. But there were several politicians in India and journalists in India who said, oh, we have to analyze it as a social movement. Well, you didn't have to analyze it. Antifa and Black Lives Matter exist in America. You have currently what is happening in America, teens are taking over malls and beaches and housing complexes. That's the kind of law and order disruption the communist wants, the anarchist wants, those who cannot defeat you, in a fair game of democracy. They want to undermine democracy to defeat. So the guys who are doing it are trying to undermine. This is one of those last resorts of the anti-India, anti-Modi, anti-Hindu forces to somewhere along the line do whatever it takes. So if elections did not go in your favor, bring the damn cockroach. At least cockroach can spoil the lot. Now, here is very important. Journalists and politicians are talking about as a social phenomenon. It is not. It is not. It is undermining democracy. It is undermining somebody who legitimately won the election. And it is also considered to be a fearful element for the indie as group. I use the as an abbreviation of association. It's not disrespectful. Just as I use leader of opposition as Lou. There's nothing wrong. You can say leader of opposition party, but doesn't matter. It's LOO for me. So the question here is very important. Very, very important. The leader of the opposition, indie as parties, they are raising banners of anti-Hindu, anti-India calls. You have the situation that you have that situation. A person called Stalin. I mean, why would parents name their children's name as Stalin, who was the ultimate terrorist communist who killed millions of people in Russia? Anyway, that's I have no business to comment on that, no business to criticize that, but making an observation. Stalin has said twice and many more times the Sanatan must be eradicated as vermins and absolutely low class things that we are. Sanatanis are. Well, he got the curse of Sanatan on him. He lost power, political power. Now the conversation is that they may be joining the central government in some form or the other. But politics makes strange bedfellows. I'm not going into that. But even after losing power, he appealed to the chief minister, the new chief minister, Joseph Vijay, who is a converted to Hindu to Christianity, to eradicate Sanatan. He did not stop there. So the threat that these people are becoming desperate that if BJP NDA alliance could win Maharashtra, could win West Bengal elections, they could win back Delhi, and they have had significant victories in many state elections. They are frightened that in 2029 elections, whether Modi ji is there or not is a different matter. If another combination of BJP leadership comes, will they allow these people to function? And they visualize 2029 as the last opportunity. And that's why the desperation is very high. So, Hindus and Sanatanis, if you want to save the country, if you want to save Sanatan, if you want to save yourself as Hindu, it's time to recognize that if the enemy wants to do whatever it takes to destroy you, you have to take on the battle of dharma to their camp. Remember, the principal operating tool of dharma is protect and defend yourself, protect and defend your family, protect and defend your community, protect and defend your country. That's the real dharma. And if you have to do the dharmic duty, you have to arise, awaken, assert, and act. This is not a matter of, that can be allowed to pass away in a joke or a humor. The cockroach is an infested creature, It hovers around all things dirty. And what the people are conveying to you, that they will go dirty to destroy your kitchen and homes. The question is you have to take whether you will have the spray gun to kill the cockroach, whether under the chappal that you wear or whether the chemicals that you serve. You have to destroy the cockroach that is entering and infesting the Hindu way of life. All right. So, as I always say in the sports analogy, you never take your opposition for granted. Although they have created a humorous touch to it, but it is a dangerous touch to it. that they are willing to go to the gutters to do whatever they want to do. You have to make sure that you do not let them do it. As again, please like, subscribe, and support our channel. As I always say, Satyameva Jayate. If truth has to triumph, you got to stand up and fight for it. Thank you very much.